Konnichiwa, Japan fans. In today's show, we're going to look at some New Year's resolutions for salespeople. Za eigyo desu. Sore de wa ikimashou. So let's get going. This is the 5th year of the Sales Japan series podcast, broadcasting around the world from the Beverly Hills of Japan, Minato-ku, here in downtown Tokyo. It is chic central. I'm your host, Dr. Greg Story, your corporate coaching and training guy, committed to your success, the president of Dale Carnegie Training Tokyo, Japan, and the 3-time best-selling author of Japan Sales Mastery, Japan Business Mastery, Japan Presentations Mastery, and now my new book in Japanese, Za Eigyo, is available on Amazon. In this podcast, I want to help you to survive COVID-19. Don't forget to subscribe and share this podcast with your family, friends, and colleagues. We are not being sponsored by Libsyn, but we value your privacy, which is why we have our podcast hosted by Libsyn, who, unlike many other podcast hosts, have a strict policy that does not allow access to your private information by anyone. Here is our daily podcast lineup on iTunes. Mondays, the Cutting Edge Japan Business Show. Tuesdays, the Presentation Japan series. Every second Tuesday, the Business Tatsujin no Oshie Show. Wednesdays, the Sales Japan series. Thursdays, the Leadership Japan series. And every second Thursday, the Business Pro Podcast Show. Fridays, the Japan Business Mastery Show. And Saturdays, Japan's top business interviews. Now, this is episode number 271. And we are talking about the SMART salesperson's New Year's resolution. In 2022, let's all commit to asking more intelligent questions of buyers. For those who don't ask questions because they are too busy delving into the micro details of the solution, this will be a major change for the better. How on earth can you know if the solution you're promoting is the right fit for the client's problems if you haven't clearly established what the real problems are? Rather than going through the charade of guessing what the best solution should be, we take the time to find out precisely what they need. If the leap straight into solution provision is because you're afraid of the Japanese buyer's reaction to questions, then we need to work on how to get around that issue. The answer is question design. Just jumping into detailed questions can be an abrupt turn of events for a buyer who is meeting the salesperson for the first time. If some stranger started asking detailed questions about the inner workings and problems in your marriage, you'd be aghast. Keep this metaphor in mind because this is close to what we are doing in sales. We're trying to ask questions to find out what are the problems facing this buyer. Probing questions about the firm's failings may trigger an alarm in their mind about the danger of sharing confidential information with a stranger. They may become reluctant to do so because the trust is not there yet. Suddenly, we're only getting to the tip of the iceberg issues. Even if we think we have solutions for those problems, we still are not addressing the more important hidden concerns of the buyer. The first question we need to design is how to get permission to access sensitive, insider company information. We need to set this up early in the sales conversation. The 3W big maybe structure works well in this stage of the conversation. The first W is to explain who we are. For example, in my case, I would say, We are soft skills training experts specializing in deep learning sustainment techniques so that the training sticks. I have packed a lot into that short sentence, including a strong USP or unique selling proposition about the training not fading away after the classes are over. The next W is what we have done for a similar company in the same business and market. We need to pick another client very similar to this one so that they feel the success will also be relevant for them too. The third W is when we did it. If the example was 10 years ago or 5 years ago, this client may feel that so much has changed in that time that the example is broken and not relevant. The big maybe comes immediately after the who, what, when structure. We haven't asked any detailed questions yet about the client situation, so we actually have no idea if what we are offering will fix their issue or not. So the next step is to be very strategic in what we say. After having outlined what we did for another client, very similar to them, we say, maybe we can do the same thing for you. I'm not sure. But in order for me to know if it's possible or not, would you mind if I ask you a few questions? Clients are cautious about big talking, pushy salespeople. By using a soft word like maybe, we are signaling we are not like those other thrusting salespeople and instead are focused on the client's needs. Find out more. We come back from the break. Our show today is brought to you by our public programs, but we also do custom-made in-house classes. Now, we do them in our super safe classroom, we do them live online, and we do them in Japanese, and we do them in English. Today's show is being sponsored by, on the 2nd of February, our Dale Carnegie course, on the 3rd of February, High Impact Presentations, and on the 8th of February, our Confident English class, 14th of February, Leadership Training for Managers. Check out our website, www.dale-carnegie, carnegie.co.jp. Get my best-selling books, Japan Sales Mastery, that's the Bible for selling in Japan, and Japan Business Mastery, and my new book, Japan Presentations Mastery. And they're all available on Amazon. If you like learning by watching videos, then we have over 1,000 there for you at Tokyo, Japan, Dale Carnegie TV on YouTube. We release 3 TV shows every week on YouTube. The Cutting Edge Japan Business Show, that's the premier business show in Japan, comes out Mondays. Fridays, the Japan Business Mastery Show, and Saturdays, Japan's top business interviews, where I interview leaders in Japan from SMEs all the way up to the corporate captains of industry on one topic, leading in Japan. Now, every second Thursday, we release the Business Pro Television Show. And don't forget, you can email me at greg.story@dalecarnegie.com. Welcome back. One key thing to always keep in mind, though, is that once you've asked for their permission to ask questions, do not say one more word. Let it hang there forever, if necessary. Don't be tempted by the tension in the air to add more explanation or say any more about it. You've been succinct and clear, so let them answer you. This asking for permission to ask questions isn't 100% guaranteed to get a yes, and maybe the buyer forces us to go into our pitch. That is almost guaranteed to lead nowhere And we will do it knowing that the chances of a sale are much reduced. The percentage of clients who force this upon us, though, will be very small in the big scheme of things. So we should always start with getting permission to ask questions. Now that we have their permission to ask questions, we can investigate where they would like to be, why they haven't gotten there already, and what would success look like for them. These are very straightforward questions. However, the key is to wrap them up in implications of not taking action right now. Having a need and doing something about it are not the same thing. This is where we have to ask questions in a very intelligent way, helping them to understand the opportunity cost of leaving things as they are now. The latter is always the easiest choice for buyers and the worst result for the salespeople. Preparing for the opportunity cost discussion takes good planning and good data in order to make the case appear overwhelming for taking action right now. Intelligent questions build trust with buyers and leads them to willingly provide the information we need in order to be able to help them. Making no permission request to ask questions says we are not smart. No questions at all, and just moving straight into the pitch says we are not smart. Having no well-designed implication question says we are not smart. Buyers don't want to deal with dumb salespeople. So we have to get busy on the basics again as we start 2022. Thank you for joining the Sales Japan series. If you found the program useful, please work on your karma and share it with your family, friends, and colleagues. Don't forget to subscribe and share this podcast. Immediately apply what you've learned today, use it, and go out there and survive. Remember, I'm your corporate coaching and training guy in your corner, committed to your success here in Nippon.